bit. He was kind of shimmying in that range.
Okay.
And trying to get that parry. We talked about it before. Oh, and then Noah this time trying to pop off himself, but Takamura, these offensive reads from both players, immaculate.
Okay, okay. Back to the neutral.
Oh, and he has the light kick buffer. He committed to it off the drive rush cancel.
Take the throw, as they say. Nice jump out the corner. Noah is able to get the cross cut this time.
Yeah, you saw him walk forward just a tiny bit right there to make sure he was in the right space. The reversal crouch medium kick, and of course, the level 2 to drain the rest of that drive. But this is where Noah thrives. Ooh, the backdash, calling out the throw early, but no conversion. Thought he was actually gonna have to block the flash knuckle, but it came up short.
Okay, didn't do anything there, just went for the parry. Okay, there's a low forward, went for the overhead.
Noah the Prodigy not letting these runs go through. It's either gonna be a combo or there's gonna be a gap, right? So Noah's like, I have nothing to lose pressing a button in that instance. And with Takamura's execution errors on that specific sequence already shown a couple of times, it's even smarter to do so.
Yeah, Takamura's gonna have to clean it up here because he's getting the opportunities, but he's just not getting the full conversion leading into his time to play.
Yeah.
And he's starting to get the right defensive reads, right? He's getting the low forwards. There's a run into the DP, okay. The lay jab, Noah doesn't bite.
No, he's representing the backdash. He thought Noah was gonna pop off after that, but instead, being nice and patient here. Look at this, the throws. Takamura gonna do it. Overhead is there. Not gonna spin a more meter though. Noah just taking it now because he knows one more drive rush cancel will win him the round. Oh, reaching! And he's a young man, but he can still teach some lessons.
And just like that, Noah is sitting on the set point. Noah's so undeterred right now. Low forward counter hit does connect. It's going to take Takamura all the way to the corner.
Ooh, nice block in the crouch medium kick. A little bit of a delay. No response from Takamura. You can't jump out of that for free. Oh, and again, the run execution errors. They are plaguing Takamura this set. Tried to base something out right there.
Just in case he tried to go for the drive reversal, I feel. Okay, the lights is going to go into the level 3.
Noah the Prodigy, he committed to the drive rush cancel off the last light. Figured Takamura would try one of those reversal buttons. Knew it, stuffed it, took the game into winner semis. Noah the Prodigy.
Qualifies you to top 8 winners. Let's go, Noah.
As Yipe said on the hype video, that's straight socks right there, man. It's comfortable, taking a lap of victory in the process.
Definitely is in his socks and chocolates. He came out as comfortable as he could possibly be on this big stage and was able to perform.
Man, look at how happy he is. And don't forget, this tournament is also an Esports World Cup qualifier. Noah is now locked in for that tournament as well.
Incredible, incredible. So unfortunate for Takamura because it was really, really the execution errors that messed up on his end. Even though he had those defensive reads incorrectly in the first 2 games, I think it's fine. It's okay to establish that you're willing to do an ODDP reversal between block strings on wake up, whatever it may be. But it really is the execution errors.
100%. And unfortunately, he had the draw of somebody like Noah, right? There's some players that will be a little bit more timid when it comes to you doing a combo on them, and they won't be like pressing buttons during that, right? There's some players like that. Noah, he's not like that. He's the opposite, right? He's always going to be churning something. He's always going to be testing the fact that your execution is on point, and it paid off time and time again here in Winners Quarters.
Yep, we saw it with the parry. We saw it with the level 3 interruption when he tried to reset him with the overhead. Noah is so active on defense, and you're trying to read what option he's going to go for. You never know. Is he going to parry? Is he going to press the button? Or is he going to DP? Or is he going to super? You don't know, and that's what makes him such a difficult player to train against.
Yeah, oh man, this is such an explosive first match indeed. It was so interesting the way it started, right?
Yeah.
That very first round, it felt like they didn't even come close to each other for a good 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then once the knockdown started happening, we saw ODDPs fly, Takamura looking to condition him early, and Noah, that's one of the things, as you mentioned at the beginning, right? You could try to prep for Noah, but it always feels like it's a moot point at the end of the day. For whatever reason, Noah just has the right reads, the sixth sense. He took that establishment that Takamura had and used it against him at the end. He knew that later on, he wouldn't be popping off with the ODDPs. He would switch it up, and he would throw him, get the throw baits out. It was an incredible performance.
Incredible performance. And look how many, even the drive rush overheads that Noah tried to go for. They were blocked every single time until the very last round. Takamura eventually got caught crouching. And you just cannot deter Noah from doing what he wants to do.
100%. Great stuff to start already. Noah the Prodigy in winners semifinals. Top 8 locked in. And now the next match, oh my, it's going to be bangers all day, everybody.
Yeah.
We're just,
I mean, we're in the top 16. These are the world's best players, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's no way there's any, all these matches are insane.
And two of the best performers in our group stages are about to go against each other now. Ibushi Jin's Kakaru versus 2-game Blaz. Blaz, of course, going out with a 5-0. Kakaru with a 4-1. Incredible performances from both sides. Now, very interested in this one, right? Blaz has looked damn near untouchable, but Kakaru...
He's undefeated.
I don't know, man. Yeah, that's true. He has been untouchable so far. He hasn't just looked it. Kakaru, on the other hand, 4-1. Looked it as well, right? Ended up dropping into Tokido, which snowballed into a wild sequence of events that got Tokido into top 16 as well. Now he's going to be looking with the home country at his back to get into top 8 winner side himself.
The Blaz. I was so interested because he plays so many different characters. He started off in pools with Ryu, and then yesterday in day 3 he decided to switch to Ken to get into the qualifiers. And he is known for his Ed play.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if he ends up sticking with Ken, or is he going to go for Ed? Because when I was talking with the Ed players, they do feel that Ed is a better select, just character player on paper. That is a better matchup against JP.
Okay.
But it looks like he's sticking with the Ken.
Okay, I don't mind the Ken either, right? Ken definitely has different ways to get in past the shenanigans of JP as well, right? The Dragon Lash is something. The run in Bull DP is also a big thing as well. So we might see both of those on display. And with the reactions and the amount of information that Blaz can hold in his young mind, it could be dangerous for Kakaru. Let's see who establishes their dominance first.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're going to have to see a lot of the drive rushes, right? That is kind of how Ken is going to have to close in on JP. He's going to have to find a way through the Ghost with the drive rush. Unfortunately, Kakaru is changing the timing of the Ghost right now, kind of testing to see when he wants to drive rush, but he goes in offensively anyways. Gets a drive rush overhead.
And look at that.
Into the corner.
Just letting the departure do the heavy lifting. That's how you're supposed to do it with JP. Spins the level 1 as well to put him on a pixel. Blaz. Back against the wall. If he can bring this back, though, that would be a wild start to the set.
Okay, take him to the corner.
He's almost pushed him to the other side, but Kakaru is not going to let him keep doing that. Willing to challenge there and gets it successfully.
Crouch jab. Blaz is going to have to find a way to change the approach in the neutral, but it looks like Kakaru is the one who's going aggressive now, starting off with drive rush.
And it was so smart for Kakaru to challenge after that second jab, right? After a little bit more space, you figured he'd start inching close even before another one. Well done in that moment.
Which is a surprising choice to me because this spacing is kind of where Ken dominates. You have to be concerned with the standing roundhouse. You have to be concerned with possible jump-ins.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Kakaru has been a master of the JP normals as well. So in addition to letting the departure do the heavy lifting, he's just so good at managing his space with that stand fierce, the stand medium punch, the crouch medium kick, the crouch medium punch, everything. And it's just a tough for Blaz to get in right now.
Yeah, you can just see Blaz having to guess on when the portal is going to come, when the spike is going to come. He depleted a lot of his drive bar trying to parry.
You can see Blaz jumping. He's trying to catch Kakaru, committing to something like a ghost or a departure, and then challenging on the wake up right there. You saw Blaz loading up with something heavy. Kakaru was like a light. Will stuff that in an instant. Level 2 for the game 1 win.
Very, very strong showing from Kakaru, not giving Blaz a chance at all to get his offense started.
That was a great read, right? Blaz needed to make up a lot of life differential, so he was probably going to go with something heavier, something juicy to try to start it, and Kakaru knew that exactly.
Okay, we've seen this a couple different times, and Kakaru always making the right defensive options right here.
Oh, man. And that crouch medium punch remains one of the best drive rush check tools in the game since launch.
Backdash just to build the proper spacing for him. Okay, seeing a little bit more fireballs come from Blaz. There's the first Dragon Lash.
Let's not forget Kakaru, I mean, his breakout performance at Gamers 8, he perfect parried how many Dragon Lashes? So you can't be too happy with that in this matchup.
Yeah, unfortunate misty
Oh,
coming from Blaz, but nice perfect parry as the punish to the Ghost.
Amazing stuff right there, calling out the block string.
Okay.
Establishing both players in neutral. I love this. Blaz starting to use Fireball more to stay outside that range of Kakaru, and then sneaking into crouch medium kick range and closing out the first round. You see, now he was using the Fireballs as the poke to try to frustrate him with those JP normal ranges.
Yeah, okay. Blas trying to establish his pressure, stay at the spacing, but the medium punch so strong from Kakaru.
Both players poking back. I'm surprised there wasn't a driver's cancel buffer behind that crouch medium kick from Blas. Oh, with a backdash, Kakaru's spacing.
Not great position. Kakaru almost building up the level 3. Okay. Another whip punish into the level 3.
Responding with a fierce right there. Kakaru willing to spin all the meter as well. And I don't blame him, right? He's going to put him on a pixel. He's this close to taking the round, and he's just been very convincing in the neutral. I don't mind spinning those resources going into round 3.
Just a crouch short is enough to take the second round in the second game. Blas is going to have to figure out a different strategy on how to approach Kakaru.
And feinting the ghost now, trying to bait something out, maybe a dragon lash, maybe a drive rush.
Okay.
But a snipe.
Disconnect. Taking Kakaru to the corner.
Wow.
Actually gets back thrown by Kakaru.
I think he was trying to walk back, but maybe made the decision too late. And then, yeah, that's plus frames off that heavy kick. Can't forget that. Kakaru, the perfect parry prince, back to back with it that time.
Yeah, Blas trying to figure out his approach, trying to get the whip punish to low forward, not connecting right now. Kakaru's defense is insane right now.
Yeah, of course, Kakaru, the plethora of Kens in Japan. He's got so much matchup experience in this specific one. Seeing him check drive rushes left and right. That time he got caught in the departure, so he still had to hold that, but he knows his JURI counter game is the best I've ever seen. We saw it yesterday against Tokido, now up against Blas as well. He knows the spacing unlike anyone else.
Blas, yes, going back to the character select screen, I think he's going to have to take some time to figure it out whether or not he wants to stick with Ken or how to approach his strategy. Like he's tried so many different things. He got a lot of success with the fireball game when he started using it as poke.
Yeah.
But he had to get within that range. All the other rounds that we've seen Kakaru dominate in, he just was not allowing Blas to get within that range, whether it be a counter poke with the stand medium punch or a short interruption for the drive rush.
Indeed, and Blas has switched it up to the Goki Akuma. Like we said, those JURI games, they are just completely shut down by Kakaru. Even, again, the perfect parry on the fireball to check the drive rush after, not letting Blas get his game started for free ever.
Yeah, but at least with playing Akuma, you do have different aerial approaches, right? This is going to be a little bit more difficult for Kakaru to defend against, hopefully, maybe, but...
And Blas, he tried to plan for that, right? He tried to plan for the perfect parry with the drive rush immediate button, but it was just a little bit short on the drive rush range. Slightly miscalculated that time. That's why he goes with the roundhouse, something that will move him forward as well.
Okay, laying on the pressure. Trading off the lights. Okay. Nice connect on the spheres there.
Blas gonna be able to maybe get the party started instead. Down backing on the projectiles.
Back to the full screen game.
Ooh, Kakaru not caught committing to anything right there. Blas trying to establish. This is a lot of meters spent by him. The OD and then the drive rush leaves him in burnout, and the whips are gonna take full advantage of by Kakaru.
Can't we talk about Kakaru's movement though? Just the spacing to make that dive kick whiff to get the punish counter.
Yeah, it's been immaculate. Just hyper awareness on spacing has been his constant name of the game for him throughout Capcom Cup.
No trade combo there.
And again, there's plenty of a plethora of Akuma in Japan as well, right? All these matchups, Kakaru's gonna know like the back of his hand.
Short. Kakaru just throwing out little pokes here to stop Blas from approaching him. Okay.
Ooh, what a juggle right there from Blas.
Yeah,
that was
what a
extremely
pickup.
sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
I was gonna say that's gonna be too slow. I think he wanted the DP,
Yeah.
but it happens sometimes. You get the level 1. And because Kakaru was smart about doing an empty jump, he was able to block on landing and take full advantage. A very unfortunate situation for Blas.
Not a good situation. You're about to get chipped out unless you're able to super.
Level 2, yeah. Level 2 projectile invo right there does get him out of the situation for now. Will he be able to bring it back? Oh, he tried the DI, but he didn't get the whip punish. Kakaru stays crouching and punishes him for it. Oh, some heartbreaking moments for Blas in that one. But Kakaru, much to the delight of Ryu Goku Gikan, will move in the top 8.
Beautiful, incredibly clean play from Kakaru. He just did not allow the scramble situation to happen. And even when he was put into the corner, even when Blas was finally able to get the hit and get the conversion, he had maybe like a 9% correct read on the defense.
Yeah.
Whether it was OD amnesia, tech throw, backdash, like he was just able to escape the pressure and bring it back to the neutral game where he just dominated.
Yeah, you can just tell, right? Kakaru is very honed in on where people want to play, where their sweet spots are, where the strengths of their character is. And with JP, he just dances around that range. He tempts you into doing things. And is just so good at recognizing the exact moment. He can just back up a tad and make it whiff at the perfect space. Like, he's just honestly a genius sometimes.
Truly. I mean, Blaz was like stopped. It was like a stop sign. Yeah. Every approach he tried to go through with the drive rush, these low fours did connect every now and then, but he just didn't, he couldn't get a lot off of it.
No.
Maybe he just needed to jump more. I don't know what it is. There was no real aerial approach coming in when Blaz was on Ken, but with the Kuma, he did try to sneak in a couple dive kicks and whatnot, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Kakaru was ready.
Indeed, yeah, and I think like there was like 1 or 2 jumps with Ken after the fireball situation where I think he wanted to try to bait Kakaru into some projectiles of his own to try to get the jump in there. But Kakaru, he just knew that's when he wasn't trying to throw any projectiles. From that normal range, he's so confident in JP's toolkit that he's like, I can fight it out with normals, and if you jump, the crouch fierce is back, I'm gonna shut you down.
Yeah, a couple small crucial mistakes coming from Blaz there too. Like that weird double dash into he got back there into the corner. It's just not the position you want to be in when you have the upper hand or when you're on the offense against Kakaru. Yeah,
most definitely. So Kakaru and Noah the Prodigy have advanced into the winner's side of top 8. Blaz and Takamura are going to be falling to the loser side to await how that bracket plays out. But our next match is going to be these games of Fudo versus DRX Lashar.
Battle of the legends here. Fudo and Lashar. And you know, they played against each other at the tournament that Lashar qualified in. It was the CPT Japan, right? The offline. And Lashar had the upper hand. I believe the score was 3-1.
Yes, correct. So this is actually one of our more recent like rematches. Like a lot of these are top 16 side of matches, especially in the winner's side, either haven't happened before or haven't happened in a very long time.
Yeah.
This one is one of our more recent ones, so we'll see if Fudo, I imagine, had to have been in the lab, but it's going to be an Ed mirror most likely, right? So that's always another layer of funkiness to a matchup.
Yeah, so we're still in the button checks, but have you had a chance to see, like, how do you think this match is going to go?
Oh man, I mean, Lashar, I'm a Lashar fanboy, if you want to talk about that.
I think anyone. It's insane to hold the title for the cleanest player in the world. That is Lashar. That is his title.
A lot of people consider him a generational talent, right? But Fudo, he's here. My man has some of the most experience out of anybody, whether it be a big stage. Or
Ninth Capcom Cup. This is his 9th Capcom Cup.
So, I don't know, man. We've already seen some of the newer players up here on the stage show some nerves, show some execution errors, right? We saw Takamura, we saw multiple missed run cancels. We saw Blaz with a couple of execution errors, who had looked completely clean up until this point, right? So we know that the top 16 atmosphere is different. It is, I believe, a damn near sold-out building here in Ryugoku Kokugikan, right? So the electricity is on another level than the group stage. So it could get to somebody. Maybe Lashar will be affected by that. But a benefit that Lashar has is he's been in Japan since SFL, right? And SFL is so gigantic here in Japan. The electricity, the way people show out for it, he might be used to those type of lights and pressure already. I know Fudo is.
Yeah, and I do think their playstyles are also very different, right? So I'm trying to see which one is going to dominate, because Lashar, again, fully known for his incredible clean play with Punished Master.
Absolutely. Can't
jump on this man, unless you're just a kid for some reason. But Fudo, coming from the Armika side, he is a highly aggressive player. He likes sprinkling the neutral. He likes playing it fast, whereas Lashar likes playing it slow. So I want to see how they approach this matchup. How is Lashar going to stop Fudo from flickering him to death?
Yes, indeed.
Sprinkling with the fierces and whatnot.
And you know, you mentioned how Jack had a lot of success jumping on Lashar. We saw Oil King have some success jumping on Lashar as well, right? But both of those characters do have a way to alter their jump.
Yep.
Ed does not. So maybe Lashar's anti-airs will be more of what we know and have come to love from him. But of course, Fudo, we'll see how he tries, what brand of aggressiveness he brings out. I like him using the EX color as well, showing off the Capcom Cup exclusive.
Let's get this match started. Okay.
Fudo versus Lashar, game 1. Let's get it popping. Both players are already showing the flicker game, right? Lashar willing to spin the drive rush cancel. Leaves him lower on the drive, but man, already striking first blood.
Let's pick up. Okay.
Trying to bait something out right there with a drive rush into the flicker. Thought Lashar would put something out to check. Nullifying fireballs on both sides as well.
Look at how aware these players are of the range that they want to play in.
Man, that was a sick attempt from Lashar right there for a drive rush whip punish on a flicker. That's something we're going to see multiple times this set, I imagine.
And a lot of the fireball game here. Nullifying fireballs with the snatcher.
Most definitely. And it's scary, right, to try the drive rush after the flicker because you don't know when the opponent is actually going to let go this time outside the range, even post-flicker, to get another one.
Oh, wow. Lashar drive rushing in and burning himself out. Not a great situation to be in yet.
It feels like Lashar has been the one that's been a bit more aggressive so far to open up this. Fudo's been picking his spots perfectly. Moving to the OD as well to force the pressure. Yep. Into the hold flicker. This is so good sequence.
But Lashar is going to build his meter back out of burnout. Made it through.
Ooh, caught at the last minute. Lashar got his meter back and immediately put it to use. Both players with 2 bars as well. They're going to need it unless it's for pressure. Throw will do it for Fudo. Forces the issue, and Lashar's defense not quite there that time.
Okay. How many dream combos are we going to see, though?
Oh, trying to blow through that, but Fudo was there to meet him on the other side.
Okay, forward throw. Throw number 2, keeping Lashar in the corner. Does not bite this time.
Yeah, I believe that Charged Fierce doesn't have 2 hits of projectile info. I think it's only 1. Please correct me if I'm mistaken. Oh, and Fudo, though, pieces them up. Oh, but drops the combo. That would have been the first game. He had level 3 on deck. The scaling wouldn't have stopped him, and now this dream, it could become a nightmare for Fudo.
This is going to take him all the way to the other corner. Love the chant from the crowd, yep.
Very delighted with the dream combos. OD once again to nullify. He said, I got something now. I'll prioritize that as well. Using the level 2 to try to lock him down. Fudo is on the verge of that. The perfectly timed drive reversal bypasses that, but it does burn Lashar out in the process.
Oh! So smart. Okay, conversion off to the level 2.
He's bringing it back. There's still a lot of burnout time, though, and Fudo, cool, calm, collected, walks out and catches Lashar for the first game.
Okay. That was incredible for Fudo. Lashar's looking a little, I don't want to say shook, but he's not finding a way to get his game plan going.
Yeah, and that's another thing that can happen in mirror matches as well, right? I feel like we saw it even with Punk. It just looked a little strange when you have to play your own character. Usually you're so calculated, you know how everybody's going to go about it, but the mirror is just a different beast. Oh, perfectly
What a whip punish.
Yeah, Fudo, man, he's being so on point right now. Now playing back a little bit to let his drive meter come back. Faking that out, but the kill rush forward still gets clipped by the jump.
Nice whip punish on the snatcher. This should be it.
That's what we saw Lashar look for in that first game, right? I mentioned it. They're going to be trying to whip punish the flickers with the drive rush. It's tough to do because of the charge time and the variation and when it can be let go, but Lashar finds it there.
Okay, it's Lashar who finds the whip punish once again.
Oh, and again, Lashar's ranges on these drive rushes have just been a bit short. I think he's been trying to go with something quick to catch Fudo's check attempts, but instead they've just been whip punished outright.
Nice delayed crouch jab. Anti-air coming from Lashar.
Not an actual safe jump, Lashar knew.
Again, so hard to predict the time of when he's gonna let go of Snatcher and does catch Lashar drive rushing at him.
Precisely in the throw right there. And from that distance, right, the jump is a huge threat, so a lot of the time they'll cancel in the kill rush back. I think that's why Lashar risked the drive rush in the first place, thinking that Fudo would think he would jump, and now getting in there and putting a stop to any nonsense. There's looking established. Yep. Lashar snipes him this time.
Straight into the level 3. This is going to deplete the drive meter. Coming from Fudo, he's going to be burnt out in the corner.
Indeed. Lashar here. Oof. Making his day gray. How's Fudo going to escape? Will he spin a meter if a DI shows up? He has to. It is the final round. He's got to protect himself. Oh, but instead Lashar plays it nice and slow. Doesn't even need a DI, just a standard tick throw setup. Baits out the tech, and he gets him in.
Yep, making it an even 1-1. Fudo taking a breath right here. I wonder how he's going to change his approach. I think they've actually both been playing pretty similarly to each other.
Yeah, definitely. Both players have been just so on point with the spacing of the flickers, the stand medium kicks.
Yeah, they're both trying to find a way on how to whip punish each other and how to get around the snatcher.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of jumps from either side as well, right? That's definitely something that could be called out with the heavy kick flicker, but I don't think they're going to be thinking about that yet. And yeah, now Fudo's starting to think about the jumps, right? We got to find ways around this flicker, and that's one of the primary ways to get a huge reward if the opponent is sleeping.
Right outside the range of these normals.
Oh, I love that timing from Lashar right there, nullifying the fireball with the startup of his own and then sending the projectile. Well, players, oh my goodness, just outside the range of each other. Ed has such long range on his normals, right? You can see this footsie battle take place at a range that we don't see often.
It's a lot of whiffing until one of them finally connects on the recovery frames.
Nice kill rush cancel back right there from Lashar. Ooh, I was close to getting whip punish, but they recovered just in time from the light kick. Seeing a whole lot of crouch heavy kicks come out from Lashar as well. It's a big juicy starter, but the punish counter, speaking of the juicy starters.
Just one jab too. Okay, and this is gonna be enough if we dump it, yep.
Well done for Fudo right there. I like that, covering all his bases. The meaty fireball would shut down a level 1 response as well.
There's so much respect for each other and their ability to whiff punish and to anti-air. All these matches are going down to like the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's being too aggressive. Nobody's being reckless. Again, nullifying that fireball and setting his own. And again, seeing him charge up with the flicker. He's just going to drive rush DP through it.
That was a very expensive spend, though.
Precisely. Jumps out here, gets to the other side. Good block, but the super sick timing from Lashar right there. Slight little hezzy. Caught Fudo standing up. Into the final round we go.
Both sitting on 3 bars. Okay, Snatcher to nullify the fireballs. First jump coming from Lashar does get checked.
You can see both players not reaching their hands in the cookie jar whatsoever. Instead, Fudo once again picking his spot perfectly with another clean whip punish. Those stand medium kicks are deadly.
Straight into the level 3. Okay, no check from Lashar there.
Yeah, he's in burnout, right? So he definitely is a little bit more hesitant. Knows there's more plus frames, knows Fudo has a bigger advantage. Ooh, the DP still reaching on that side.
Fully charged Snatcher, forward throw, just to build some space again. Lashar makes it through. What a DP anti-air from the drive rush, forward throw. Okay.
Ooh, holding here, and now Fudo is in the danger zone, right? Any double drive rush cancel combo and a CA kills. He doesn't even need the double drive rush cancel now.
Going for the lows.
Oh, he's going for the burnout. He gets it here. Yeah, he's not going to go for the DI just yet. He wants the advantage from the burnout itself. The level 1 will get shut down by the flicker projectile property. Lashar, such a calculated way to break down the end of that round.
Beautiful, beautiful setup, just the correct spacing for the Snatcher. There's absolutely nothing that Fudo could do at that point.
Definitely. Right, Fudo was doing his best because if you just let Ed go from there, he's going to chip you out.
Yeah.
He's got such great ways to put chip on the table. Punish, he just took the throw though, interesting.
Okay. Nice check from Lashar, knowing that the second hit from Flicker was going to whiff.
Yeah, Ed, I believe, doesn't have that great of drive reversal punishes, so maybe we just saw the throw for that exact reason. Drain some drive meter that way.
Sure, gonna jump again.
Nullifying. He's just been choosing to parry a lot of the time. Fudo, oh, the blitz.
Got the drop.
Unfortunate for Lashar right there. A little error in tow, and Fudo took full advantage of it. But yeah, I haven't seen Fudo try to nullify these fireballs with his own, where it's like the startup nullifies, then you send the projectile out. That's mainly been a Lashar strat. Fudo has been sticking to these whip punishes.
Nice pickup from Fudo too on that conversion. Strong, okay.
These players, man, so conscious of each other. Yeah, nobody wants to commit to the kill rush that time. Or excuse me, the flicker.
They both did the drive rush. Okay, Lashar, drive rush with the DI does connect. Straight into level 3 to burn Fudo out. build some bar back and to even out the health.
That's such a big reward right there, right? We saw Fudo using the drive rush DP to go through flickers earlier. Lashar's like, I'll use drive rush DI. Make sure I spin less meter and get a bigger reward.
Very smart coming from Lashar. Nice inversion.
I'll set him into the corner. Now he's got me here to defend himself. The backdash, unfortunately, was not punished, and he sees the flicker charge and stuffs it with the ODDP immediately.
And just like that, it is set point for Lashar now.
Yeah, due to Fudo being in the corner, there was no space for that kill rush to actually help him escape. Lashar knew it and shut it down immediately.
This really is a situation. Oh no, the anti-air does whiff. Fudo gets the punish.
Oh, shut down this time though. After the tech throw, he tried to get aggressive. Lashar smells the victory, right? He knows he's on set point, but maybe that aggressiveness might cost him as Fudo has established a giant lead here. Oh, the backdash after that. He charged the flicker to bait him into DI and then kill rushed back. Amazing stuff.
He said, I know you got reactions, but I know what you want to do, so I'm going to do this. Incredible backdash from Fudo.
That was so clean, man. He saw, right, after getting DI'd before on that flicker in the last round, he's like, okay, I see where your head's at. I'm going to use that against you.
I feel like a lot of this match has relied on who's getting the first whiff punish.
Yeah, 100%. That's where the snowball starts. It's just about building it from there. Oh yeah, willing to let it rock right there. He saw that he was kind of already holding parry.
There's the whiff punish from Lashar.
Those crouch medium kicks from Lashar have been so on point. Fudo staying solid. Oh yeah, you saw that started with a flicker. He tried it right after getting hit. Wanted to surprise him, but Lashar has been suffocating and just backs up to the right amount of space to get another whiff punish, and we're back on set point.
Again, it's a game of who gets the first whiff punish, who gets the first snatcher, and again, there's that DI as a punish on the snatcher.
Lashar set him up for it now. Knows that's what he's been looking for. And again, being in the corner like this, you don't have the luxury. That kill rush isn't gonna save you a lot of the time, but ooh, strange flicker point blank like that.
Let's put him with the low. He's gonna go into the level 3. No, next hit, he wants it to kill.
Ooh, it catches him yet again, Lashar. That's all he needed, those crouch heavy kicks. He had been harassing with them throughout the set right there. It cost him early, right? Those were some of the moves that Fudo whiff punished the most, was those crouch heavy kicks. Lashar really cleaned up his spacing by the end of the set. His advance into the winner's top 8.
Beautiful, such a close set too. It was really a play of the minds, a battle of the minds on snatcher timing, even the roundhouse, even the strong flicker timing. Just Lashar was able to pull it through with those 2 whiff punishes in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff from Lashar, showing out here, and it was an intense match. Yeah, very close, right? And yeah, I think they played a little bit more simply than we expected, right?
Simple,
very slow, very making sure that they prioritize their spacings with whether it be the flicker normals, whether it be the flicker special itself, all of those things were at the forefront of their minds. And I think it was really Lashar kind of getting these big dubs on calling out the flicker with the DI. It was a great adjustment for Fudo on later on where he manipulated it one time, but that's why Lashar started only using that strat when there wasn't any space for Fudo to get back anymore, right? He really made sure he got him to the corner first, and if you kill rush back in that instance, doesn't matter, bro, you ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, and I like how he introduced that a little bit later in the game. I think maybe it's because in the first game, he wanted to test and see when Fudo felt comfortable charging the snatcher, doing flickers.
Yeah, precisely. Lashar had just been so clean throughout the days. Same thing with Fudo. Man, such a close match. Fudo established that pressure in the corner right there. I love that meaty setup with the projectile to ensure the level 1s can't come out. Of course, Lashar did have the ODDP, but nonetheless, right? I'm not sure if the ODDP is slow enough. Like, it might be too slow if you don't commit to anything else after to even hit that anyway. So it's a really potent meaty against Ed.
And this, I was going to talk about this sequence. Just, I love how Lashar basically had a checkmate for Fudo. Like 3 seconds before this even happened, he's just like, all I have to do is get him in this corner, sprinkle him with a normal. If I get to cancel into the level 2, that is checkmate.
Yeah.
So smart coming from Lashar.
And I love that he wasn't thirsty for the DI either, right? He was like, I don't need the damage, I don't need anything like that. I'm just gonna play it nice and safe and smart. Well done. But now, our next match, the last one of winner's side top 16. It's going to be Juicy Joe versus Reject Angry Bird.
Insane matchup. We're going to see another JP versus Ken. And we've seen it earlier with Blaz versus Kakaru, right? It was pretty difficult to get Ken through the neutral, through the mini game that JP establishes with this ground spikes and the ghost. But when I was talking to Chris Tatarian, shout out to him, he is a huge training partner of Angry Bird, so he is also a Ken player.
Yeah.
He told me the way that Angry Bird will approach this match is very, very dependent on the spacing of when he does standing roundhouse, how he closes the gap against Kakaru. So a lot of it's going to rely on his movement with the drive rushes. He's going to kind of try to see the pattern that Juicy Joe does with his ghost, and that's going to be how he establishes when he wants to do the drive rush as a punish through the ghost.
Makes sense, definitely makes sense. And now I just feel a little bit bad for Juicy Joe and Blaz because like they really had the rough hand, because in my opinion, Angry Bird is probably the best Ken in the world against JP, and then Kakaru is probably the best JP in the world against Ken, you know? So yeah, it was tough for them, and it's gonna be tough for Juicy Joe, but man, this dude, if you were unfamiliar with him before Capcom Cup 11, this man has been putting bodies in bags with JP since the launch of Street Fighter 6. He's one of EU's premier players. He's part of SFL as well. He's been a monster on this character for a long time, and he's got setups upon setups. That's the thing, right, is Angry Bird is going to have to win the neutral. Fighting from the defensive end against Juicy Joe, it's not going to happen, bro. It's long for man most of the time. The way his offense is structured is just so potent, so deadly, it's going to be tough. But of course, Angry Bird, one of the greatest in the world, and he is looking in prime form. Let's get into this. Juicy Joe, Reject Angry Bird, game one.
Fireball started off. There's a stand roundhouse already counter.
Showing out, ooh, and then just trying to get the bigger damage. Not even committing to the full drive gauge. Cancel.
No. And there's that perfect parry, something that Angry Bird is so good at. Getting punished from the OD Ghost to the OD Ghost.
Yeah, after his loss to Kakaru at Gamer's Aid, Angry Bird put up a video. Oh my goodness. The whiff, he knew he would try to take advantage of it, so he just bust out with the ODDP. But he has labbed against JP for hours upon hours.
Man, and this is where the matchup changes, right? At this spacing range, especially when you're in the corner against Angry Bird, against Ken, the defensive reads you have to make to get out of the corner is so difficult.
Man, whiff parry into the ODDP. We are spicy in round one. Establishing, like you mentioned, that roundhouse range is going to be big for Ken. Yeah, step kick is also an option, right?
Yep. He was negative on blocks, but was caught pressing, got counter hit.
And now this is where it's going to be tough for Angry Bird. Already, oh my bad. I'm sorry, I forgot what we were dealing with right here.
Yeah, he heard you say that. He's like, watch this real quick. I'm going to do a full screen drive rush,
and medium kick. Yeah, I love the stand medium kick too, because it gets a little bit of offensive momentum forward. Juicy Joe, very disciplined right there, not teching on that bait attempt.
We're not going to go into level 3. Doesn't want to spend the meter yet. We do teleport, and it does connect.
Saw the start of the fireball. Angry Bird, I believe, wanted a DP right there, but because the teleport went on the other side, the execution got kind of mixed up. Ended up getting the startup of a fireball, which gets completely stuffed.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to, a lot of players have been doing that neutral jump to counter the teleport through the portal, right? So
yes,
that might be an option that Angry Bird decides to implement later on.
Run forward stop, interesting. Let's try. Even off of the plus frames right there, still not afraid to get the reversal crouch medium kick out. That could have been dangerous for Angry Bird.
Oh, Spikes is going to catch the neutral jump, sending him full screen again.
Oh, the sweep attempt, yeah, I was going to say, even with the drive rush from that distance, it's still going to be punishable. And Angry Bird burnt out.
Okay, can he block this?
Oh, gets the low after initially blocking that first jump in. Juicy Joe, big reward, and Angry Bird still got a whole lot of burnout to work through. Oh, but he finds the run Dragon Lash. Pick this spot perfectly. You best believe CA's coming out. That's going to pause Juicy Joe's meter and allow Angry Bird to get that government bailout. Shout out Logan Saba.
Uh-oh. This is kind of where Angry Bird's going to shine, right? He has him in the corner. He has no bar.
Ooh-wee, and just like that in a match where it looked like Juicy Joe was going to be able to take Angry Bird in an instant, steals it right back.
The run Dragon Lash is where everything changed. The punish counter into the level 3 that put Juicy Joe in such a bad position because he had no meter. He was going to get burnt out. He had no super. And now you're in the corner against Angry Bird, who is fully stocked on drive bar.
And Angry Bird outspacing that stand medium kick perfectly right there to get the whiff punish. Just knowing the type of tendencies that the JP players have, knowing that the buttons, which buttons are going to come out in which instances. he's just been studying the tapes for a long time, man.
Yeah, man, and it's so cheeky to do a run Dragon Lash because, you know, you see the run coming at you, you want to press a normal to stop it, and then you get clipped by the Dragon Lash.
Yeah, that's the thing, right, is that you have to be a little bit careful about what button to press. A lot of the crouching buttons might get low crushed on the way in by the run Dragon Lash, so definitely have to pick something that's a bit more standing with a higher hitbox.
Nice check from Juicy Joe, getting the counter hit, but the target combo is going to put him back mid-screen. Juicy Joe responds. Nice conversion off the light.
Angry Bird just trying to bulldog his way in, right? You got to get that CQC going in the close quarters combat. He was looking to do that as much as possible, but Juicy Joe was ready. He wasn't overcommitting to anything that could catch him slipping. Beautiful way to out-prioritize his fireball right there as well, reacting to it with the OD of his own.
Juicy Joe slowly burning down Angry Bird, but is able to find the connect with the drive rush target combo.
I love that right there. Angry Bird getting in the drive rush crouch medium kick, knowing Juicy Joe likes the backdash after that sequence.
Perfect parry. -2 situation, couldn't get the punish, does get perfect parried.
Established here, Juicy Joe. We haven't seen many OD amnesia yet. Just hold it down back. Oh, and Juicy Joe knew. That's exactly what you're gonna do. All right, that's fine with me. Let the spike come out, the overhead to follow. And the thing is, too, Juicy Joe timed that drive rush really well, because I think in an instance like that, right, where you're sitting waiting for the spike, you're gonna try to parry the spike. But the screen freeze from the drive rush can mess up and eat your drive input. So because of that, I think Angry Bird's parry input might have got you in there, so no parry to protect yourself, and he had to actually block the overhead, which was not blocked in the end.
Nope, he was not ready. That was the first drive rush overhead we got to see from Juicy Joe. Dumped out all his meter, was able to catch in the second game, making it even 1-1.
My goodness, he's put it on the plus frames as we talked about earlier. Angry Bird showed that he was willing to press crouch medium kick after that, and Joe has been establishing a new adjustment.
We're getting caught pressing right now. There's a lot of counter hits going on.
Angry Bird, he's willing to slug it out right there, right? He embraced the scramble and it paid off.
Caught him holding up.
Yeah, just taking the low combo, trying to catch him pressing back right there.
What a check. Oh, reset into the DI, gets the wall splat.
That is the Angry Bird special right there. Crouch medium kick into DI. Oh, and the OD amnesia finally comes out. Thwarted the very first time.
Unfortunately is red though, so Angry Bird with the punish.
Oh, there we go. Gets it off of that pressure. Now we'll see if he starts upping the frequency.
Yeah, nice usage of it just to escape the corner, but what a whiff punish coming from Angry Bird.
That's a recognition from Juicy Joe right there, knowing Angry Bird was looking for the back throw to put him in the corner after that empty jump. Super strong tech.
Nice check on the drive rushes. Juicy Joe starting to recognize when Angry Bird wants to come in with the drive rush. Gets jumped in on.
Oh my goodness, he can get the kill here if he wants to spin the meter, but he does not. Wants to save the resources for a potential round 3. But you gotta get there first, man. That could cost him. The step kick is too close and punished outright, so Juicy Joe's investment pays off.
Taking it to the final round, both sitting on 3 bars.
So after that drive rush, he's still not plus. After the drive rush, crouch medium kick.
Step kick, roundhouse. Okay, all these heavies are starting to get checked. Again, gets caught by the cross-up jump from the portal.
Snapping, and yeah, that drive rush stand medium kick is the quickest way Ken can get across the screen out of a drive rush.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't get the conversion though. Juicy Joe's gonna send Angry Bird full screen again. Teleports in, he's going aggressive, activates in level 2.
All right, no, after the target coming, just throws him out of the parry attempt, then he gets a full combo off that. Oh, and then dodges the wake up ODDP. Stylish way to bait it out.
What a read on the wake up ODDP coming from Angry Bird. Juicy Joe looking at match point.
My bad, I forgot. The crouch medium kick drive rush is +1 on block, my mistake.
Nice punish from the perfect parry into DI, okay? Meaty as hell. No bite from Juicy Joe. Nice and patient. Trading, okay. Jump out, doesn't get the anti-air.
Yeah, you saw him try to inch forward to get the proper cross-cut DP, but it was still at a really tough spot for it to come out.
This time it is gonna connect with the ODDP. Drive rush sweep as a counter. Okay, throw takes the game. Takes them around, not the game.
Showing he has some gusto right there with the drive rush.
A drive rush sweep. Interesting choice.
Yeah, he's really recognized Juicy Joe has prioritized certain ranges. Most likely thought he was going to try to backdash or at least walk back. A lot of the time when people see drive rushes come out of them, they're just trying to walk out of range to give themselves the most distance possible. That's why they get clipped by lows a lot.
There's a perfect parry. Nice on the step kick. Filling up the portals. Faking out some ghosts just to see if Angry Bird will perfect parry it into the punish.
Stabs in his corner game. Ooh, the tap parry, not recognized in time, but Angry Bird looking like a stand fierce merchant right there. Was just staying at that space, looking for Juicy Joe to whiff something, found exactly what he was looking for.
It was so active. There was 3 stand fierces in a row, and eventually one of them connected.
He was a merchant right there. He said, I'm farming this button. I know as long as it connects, this man is dead.
And when you're just seeing the stand fierces whiff in front of your face, you're so tempted to like press a button to stop it, to whiff punish it. And unfortunately, it was so active. The third one was able to get the punish counter.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, Kengan could just kind of abuse that range, right? And then you're blocking them, and you see your drive gauge getting chipped down as well, right? They're heavy buttons, so you're just getting shaved down on the drive gauge. Your resources are whittling down, and it's tough. You know that you're going to have to get active, and Angry Bird knows it too.
And we're into the last game for both players here to establish who's going to make it into the top 8 winners.
I love that. Juicy Joe has been really on point with those plus frames, and then the stand medium kick to catch Angry Bird trying to get the crouch medium kick reversal, but punishing the string outright.
Yeah, so consistent on getting the perfect parry on the OD Ghost into the punish. Right, perfect parry again.
After the Jinrai right there, new Juicy would be looking to turn his turn back.
What a check from Juicy Joe with the crouch strong there.
Yeah, Angry Bird was trying to base something out. Wow, was that cross-up? I think that was a cross-up spike right there due to the jump timing. Tried the sweep that time. He's going to get a full combo off that because the spike was there. It takes the round.
Imagine getting your sweep blocked and losing 20% of your health for that.
Yeah, usually you just get knocked down, you know? You don't lose the round outright.
There's a drive rush through the Ghost with the stand medium kick. Okay, Angry Bird having Juicy Joe in the corner. OD Amnesia.
The back throw, Juicy Joe. He's got 2 bars as well.
Plus frames from the portal with the Ghost.
Jumps out, but yeah, neutral jump gonna be covered by Angry Bird in an instant. Again, covering himself from the back throw. Juicy Joe has been so smart about that.
Wake up ODP, burning himself out against Juicy Joe.
Yeah, and being burnt out up against JP is never where you want to be. Oh, and he does open him up on the cross-up jump. Oh, and the overhead reset. Juicy Joe with that will take the game and set over Angry Bird.
That reset, he knew he had to go for the reset in order to get the kill for sure. Angry Bird was not mashing the super in that situation.
Yeah, 100%. He did have 3 bars to his name. He was locked and loaded. But yeah, he just wasn't thinking that Juicy Joe would risk it all on a reset in that moment. But that's the JP player life right there. Well done from him, especially when he's got a departure out. We talked about it, right? If this dude's on offense, he's got some of the nastiest sequences in the business.
Insane conversions from the air portals too. Just he adapted so well to how Angry Bird wanted to get in on him. Again, the neutral drive rushes, and something that we saw Cocker do earlier, right? Yep. Once the JP players start figuring out when you want to go aggressive on them, they start throwing out the canes. But the thing is, a lot of portals that came from Juicy Joe worked out 100% in his favor. I don't think he actually got anti-aired once.
Yeah, that's a good point, right? Yeah, I don't think Angry Bird ever really was able to shut it down. The one time I recall him trying, he got the execution error, and maybe that kind of dissuaded him a little bit. Maybe that was a blow to the morale, and he started questioning how to answer that, if I should answer it. Maybe I should try to get out of the position in the first place and just go back to neutral. But either way, Juicy Joe was able to really run his game a lot of the time. I really love the establishment of the heavy kick plus frames, and then either pressing the stand medium kick or the stand light kick to catch Angry Bird pressing crouch medium kick reversal, right? He shut that down a whole lot in the set.
Yeah. Oh man, that a little rough for Angry Bird, but it was a very close match.
Yeah, and at the end too, right, we saw a drive rush into the crouch medium punch. I always talk about that being a great drive rush check tool, but it's also one of the best offensive drive rush tools in the game as well. That disjointed hitbox on the JP crouch medium punch, and somebody like Angry Bird who has incredible reactions, who has really prided himself on shutting down stuff like that, the drive rushes. It's so difficult to do so against that button with JP.
But we were mentioning earlier that Angry Bird is one of the best, like this is his matchup. He is one of the best Kens against the JP matchup, and that's just a testament to how incredibly strong Juicy Joe is. And this is his first performance at Capcom Cup. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, 100%. I know EU is losing their minds. Wanted champion, Juicy Joe, Salt Mine League regular. It's just so sick to see Juicy Joe going to be in top 8 winner side as well.
Insane lineup. I think they're probably going to show, there it is, the 4 players that made it into top 8 through winners. We have Noah the Prodigy, Kakaru, Lashar, and Juicy Joe.
Yes, indeed. So top 8 winner side. And remember, this event is now an esports World Cup qualifier. So those top 8 players that you see, the 4 in the winner side, they will be going to the esports World Cup as well. That's going to be a great qualification for them on top of everything else.
And on top of that, before we go and move on to losers, we're going to give a shout out to the sponsors that were able to bring us here and make all of this happen. Starting off with,
I believe it is, hit your friends with a punishing Shoryuken in our Capcom Arcade Classic Collection. So we're going to show you guys on the screen in an instant here. Street Fighter 6 also has a 50% off coupon coming with the Classics and Fighters pack. So best believe that you can beat up your friends digitally, and along with going with the fantastic arcade titles like Mega Man and Final Fight, if you're looking to just have some single-player fun. Get hyped for tournament season, test your skills, and help support the Children's Miracle Network hospitals with your purchase.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then next we have the Roto Z. Do you know Roto Z? Roto Z is an eye drop brand in Japan, and cool eye drops for anti-bloodshot and anti-fatigue. Prevent eyes dropping frames and fight sharp with Roto Z. And now, Roto Z is collaborating with Street Fighter 6. Until March 10th, 2025, you can get Roto Z-Man suit costume.
Ooh, super sick. And of course, another collaboration for Capcom Cup 11 is Yeti. Step into the ring and select your next fighter with the official Street Fighter collection over at the Yeti. Choose from a selection of over a dozen t-shirts featuring fan favorite fighters from Street Fighter 6 and beyond, expertly screen printed by hand at Yeti HQ on premium garment brands. And just in time for Capcom Cup 11, new challengers Luke and Ed join the roster of tees to really punch up your look on both on and off the mat. So of course, it's going to be a great time here, and you can go to theyet.com/Capcom Cup to view all of these and order one yourself, or scan the QR code on your screen now. So man, it's been an incredible winner side of the top 16. But that's just the first half of it, right, Sherry?
It just started.
We still got 8 players on the loser side of things as well. I think we're going to take a quick look at that in a moment, because that is also a star-studded show right here. Phenom and NL, so Kido and Broski, Mena RD and Cien, Shanghai Shuto, all are round 1 matches. You can see the likes of Angry Bird, Fudo, Blas, and Takamura dropping down to loser as well. Shark-filled does not even begin to describe it.
Insane amount of talent waiting in losers, and we're going to get straight to the losers round 1 right after the break. So, you know, you want to make sure you don't go anywhere. Grab yourself some waters, grab yourself some Roto Z's if your eyes are bloodshot, you know what I'm saying? Grab a Red Bull, because it's going to be a long day of a lot of great Street Fighters.
Which losers matches are you looking forward to the most? The round 1.
Round 1 losers? Okay, I mean, I'm trying to see some Broski, Tokido. I'm Meta, of course. Meta versus Cien.
Meta RD versus Cien, 100%.
Meta's one of my favorites.
So Kido and Broski, that's going to be a barn burner as well. Phenom and NL, Shanghai and Shuto, that's going to set the building on fire. Shuto, one of the fan favorites here in Japan, as you could hear the pop. So it's going to be a great time in the losers bracket as well. We're going to be getting to that after a quick break. Please do not go anywhere.
dreams become reality. Monster Hunter Bridge.
Show me what you have. What? How silly.
challenger!
Determined 4 names that will be in our top 8, but now we must drop down into the losers side to find out who will join those winners here. Remember, we're going to be crowning a new $1 million champion today, and I cannot wait. Myself, Jammers, on the mic. First time for doing a shift this week with the boy Vicious. Been a little while.
You know, I was kind of concerned. I'm like, when are you going to put me up with the brain of it all, right? I've been trying to match my energy with what you've been throwing down all day. It's been eclectic, it's been ecstatic, but most of all, it's been very, very interesting, especially with what developed in the very beginning of our top 16. There were a lot of us, or at least primarily us two, in the green room, kind of just like, how is this happening right now? There have been some really, really unstable matches, I feel like, because there have been reads that have been gone further and beyond than what we were expecting. And in terms of results, I got to say, it's been a little bit shaky, at least for my fantasy bracket. Taking a look, though, the first round of eliminations coming in. Phenom versus NL coming up first, followed by Tokido, then Broski. Mena RD versus Sien. Ooh, and then Xiaohai versus Shuto. As you can see, the round 2 is already filled in. We saw Angry Bird, Fudo, Blaz, and Takamura take their first L at the very start, but it's going to be a very interesting one to see how it develops.
Dude, those were electrifying matches in the top 16 winner side, and I'm pretty sure the top 16 losers is not going to fail to deliver in that regard. But like we said, we must kick things off here with Phenom going up against Falcons NL. Don't forget, you will be seeing Phenom tomorrow in SFL Championship Sunday, so if he doesn't proceed here into the bracket further, then he still has another chance to go big here. And as you can see it, the Moose representing Norway going up the strength and the pride of Korea. It's been interesting because there has been an array of characters that Phenom has acquired for CAPCOM Cup, but he's kind of stuck with Cammy, the British espionage, the whole way through, and Falcons NL, he's been sticking with the Goki here. So it's going to be interesting because Phenom, for me, he epitomizes efficiency. Fundamentally sound, we go through it. He was able to clutch it out in Group A yesterday after a lot of surprising results that happened, but he was able to do that. And he's pretty much in a very similar position to what he was last year at CAPCOM Cup X.
I feel like there's not a really big contrast when you talk about his opponent as well, right? NL has been calculating his way through his group stage with this Akuma. It was a little bit shaky on day one, I will admit that, but he has been so sharp against all of the other candidates. Now, one of my main storylines that I was thinking about throughout the entirety of their journey from groups, in their respective groups from day 1 into day 3, they actually haven't had these specific matchups against each other's characters, right? NL hasn't fought up against any Akumas, or sorry, any Camis. Phenom has not fought off against any Akumas.
That is completely correct here as well. And let's not forget, right, these guys have been playing this game week in, week out. They play it religiously. They probably brush their teeth with some Street Fighter before they actually go to bed, but they are prepared for anything and everything. Just to reiterate for you guys as well, myself and Vicious, we were talking about this in the back room. NL came 4th place at CAPCOM Cup X last year. He's looking to try and top that. He's in a very difficult journey, but there's more than one path up the mountain. You can definitely get there, but when it comes to playing the creme de la creme, the highest level, there have been a couple of players that notice there's a sense of desperation in his gameplay, and I think Phenom might be able to draw that desperation out in him.
I don't know if that's going to be the case coming into it right now. I mean, NL, I feel like I had the chance to kind of talk to him a little bit one-on-one over the practice room. He's had moments where he felt like those types of desperation worked on those types of players, but he has a different type of mindset going up against someone like Phenom, where he's going to be testing Phenom a little bit more by being a little bit more passive once that knockdown happens, just to see how he would react. So we'll see if that strategy actually comes into play.
Well, if they were looking at their footage from the group stages yesterday, respectively, Phenom for NL and vice versa, Phenom did hesitate to ante in a couple of situations, and we know Akuma's aerial threat, the aerial supremacy.
It's disgusting.
It is there, right? But then maybe you might try and exploit something about Phenom's defensive habits on the ground, because he can check a good drive rush, but Akuma does have drive rush into heavy adamant flame to stop him in his tracks and get maximum damage here. So this is going to be battle of footsies. I think Phenom's going to try and make NL play within the very rudimentary rules of Street Fighter, but NL, it's up to him to defy the rules and kind of take things in his own way.
Into game one, Phenom versus NL, Camby versus Akuma. Let's see who's going to break the rules or maybe enforce the law. Let's see. That ground game is going to be something so pivotal, as you had mentioned. The standing light kicks kind of gauge the distance against Phenom.
All right, already blocks a high blade kick from the Demon Raid there from Phenom, and a lovely early drive reversal there just to make sure he doesn't want to Phenom, because Phenom likes his strike throw games in a lot of situations.
Right. And
one of the basic ways to do it is from the drive rush cancel.
Yeah, we don't mind that at all. With how healthy his drive gauge is currently with NL, it's going to be so difficult for Phenom to close this gap. Yeah, trying to go for the spin knuckle and trying to read some of the fireballs. NL's kept it rather ambiguous thus far, although he is getting closer and closer to the corner. If Phenom lands this single hit, it could be disastrous.
Trying to get perfect parry. Yeah, trying to get perfect parry on the Rago high kick. Shout out to the F word there.
Rago. They actually put it in the game. That's actually called the Rago high kick, or at least in 5 it was.
There we go, just caught him there, but then going to get a drive rush conversion into some sweet Oki. Plays it safe with the safe jump just in case. I like how Phenom's been managing the neutral, but there's a substantial life lead on NL's side, so I do like this conservative and risk-averse approach right now, but everything can change at the drop of a hat.
And that hat could be have already dropped with that roundhouse, but not really making much of the sweep. We still keep NL contained. He spent most of the time on the East Coast. That's the first big confirm that we were seeing from Phenom. Another one could happen. BD crouching heavy, looking a little bit dry. NL can actually land it all here, bust out that critical art. Man, it really is a game of inches when it comes to the way that these two have been playing.
They were highly respected and respectable for a solid 80 seconds. But then in those last few moments, we started to see massive conversions, as Vicious alluded to. But now I think we're going to pick up the pace. We need to turn to gear 2 on both ends. Here it comes.
Yes, I like that. Now a little bit more of that defensive aggression. The OD uppercut ringing true. Phenom.
But notice how NL has been doing a drive reversal after a drive rush cancel. Now he's done an EXDP, so he's mixing it up. I haven't seen a backdash just yet. We've seen a lot of the high-level guys be doing backdash in certain situations. This is the hooligan, unfortunately. That looked like an execution error.
Oh, most definitely. It was a little bit awkward, too, for him to actually answer with the Demon Raid with that hooligan. I have never seen that, so luckily, we don't get to switch sides, but Phenom creating a little bit of extra space away from the corner. Medium kick to Gage. NL not able to advance for free. And I like this counter-poking situation. We have a level 3. It's gonna be spent. Very expensive, but albeit, you need every round.
Pull out the 50 caliber and get the snipe in, because we're going to the final round here. And I think NL really tried to close out that round with a light into a drive rush cancel, because he had more than enough resources to do so. But Phenom's crouching medium punch had other ideas.
I'll definitely agree with that. One of the more potent counter poke buttons, very similar to the Shoto's-esque, right? When you see Ken, Ryu, Akuma having the same type of button press for those situations. It's so potent right now for Phenom to use that tactic against him. But now we've talked about this aggression now from Phenom, keeping NL contained. The big punish counter via what? The crouching medium punch again.
He's found those micro adjustments to his spacing, because Phenom's got an exceptional spatial awareness here. Gonna get that back throw, try to get parry. No dice there. Let's see if NL can try and burn him out. Or is he not going to be ravenous just now? He's going to play it safe once again. One heavy punch, and he'll take the game. He's got the resources. See, remember what I said before the game started?
Yeah, I sure did.
I was like, let's see if he can check or try and test Phenom's drive rush check reactions.
This is scaring me, man. I mean, like, there's a couple of more fireballs probably in the tank of NL, but Phenom, if he reads it right with a spin knuckle, it is very difficult against Akuma specifically, but it could be so dangerous. One more hit now, especially for NL.
I think he wants that perfect parry into a button because that's much safer than the spin knuckle read because he doesn't want to get checked. And a lovely anti-air with the Ghost Shoryuken. He will burn him out and he will clip that stun. And game one will be going to the strength of NL here, keeping it nice and simple. And we're going to get the face plant into the sip of Calamity. And we're going to move on to game two.
Destruction and devastation. Yo, NL has been playing a different type of pace here in the top 16. He has been waiting out the timer and forcing Phenom to move more often than not.
Well, of course, if you can goad your opponent to do something, and the Fireballs, as you mentioned in the first game, they've been doing a lot of work, right? Set the tone, let's set the pace. I want to see if you respond within 3 to 5 business working days because we need it. We need it to make it work, right?
Do not mention 3 to 5 business days ever again. Don't you ever. Don't you ever.
I know
rephrase that right now.
I know exactly why you're saying that. But the way that Phenom's responding, right? There hasn't been any heavy reads. He hasn't done a dive kick over a fireball. He hasn't done a spin knuckle. It's just been perfect parry. NL's been switching up the speed slowly and surely. And Phenom already at a dry gear disadvantage.
Oh, a little bit of a off timing there from NL. Yes, I like this too, to confirm yet again. NL actually opting for movement, trying to get out of the corner, eats that meaty. Now the throw, just a single sequence even off of a light. Oh, you're definitely dead off of that. Phenom was so smart to stay grounded, to stay crouching, to catch the recovery of that dive kick as well from that angle.
I think if he gets a small life lead and see how NL tries to respond to kind of reduce that deficit, then we start to see the desperation come out. Phenom hasn't forced that out yet.
Well, he's going to have to do it in a matter of seconds, I feel like, because NL, he's just been so solid and outpacing Phenom in this grounded game. We have seen a couple of more jumps from the side of Phenom these last couple of instances, but I don't think it's going to be enough at this point in time. Level 1.
Wake up, spin drive smasher there to give Phenom a lifeline, and he's not going to have a lot of resources to work with, but if you get a couple of sequences and send NL to the corner, he's good, and there's one. Got to watch out for the reversal. He's got to watch out for the reversal, and he did, and he's going to build a killer bee sting. He will burn him out, but NL still has another executive decision to make. Not
he's
quite.
Still alive with the drive gauge. Oh, this is huge still for Phenom, or sorry, for NL.
There's still a dive kick. He still has to worry about that. I think NL's cognizant of anything that can come his way. Vicious. Nothing. Oh, the jab check there. Are we going to get burned out?
He goes through the fireball. Phenom with the reactions and anticipation of that block string. Not a true block string, by the way, to go into it. The OD uppercut sniping NL. He could have still, NL could have met him midair.
He could have met him
after Phenom.
Yeah, he definitely could have met him mid-air. I think if NL changed the version of the fireball as well, he could have made that a true block string, but Phenom was going to input the DP anyway, which is completely fine, because you should be doing things like that on defense, and a lovely whip punish into the target combo. We're going to send him straight to the corner with that spiral arrow, and we're starting to see the Ghost Shoryukens on defense. They're starting to fly high, Vicious. Oh no, I didn't mean like that. I did not mean like that.
What are you doing, man?
BT, here it
comes.
comes.
Him, huh? That's how you feel today. A throw will do it, definitely. And you know what? NL thought the same thing.
There you go. These guys, like we said, the backdash is starting to come out here, but Phenom, slowly but surely, finding that rhythm, showing you guys again why he is fundamentally sound and still playing cool, calm, and collected, but NL, the facial expressions are starting to change.
A little bit, man. A little bit of a heavier breathing, a little bit of a disdain on his face off of that execution error. I mean, who could really blame him? Fireballs to kind of keep Phenom away yet again. Demon Raid, not going to be enough of a range for Phenom to catch him. It was too shallow of an angle.
And then lovely block. I think he sensed that DP 5 seconds in advance, and that will reward him with the rounds. He's going to have to spurge everything. And I thought he could have ended that combo with the DP, but I guess he played it safe there, NL. Ran out of juggle points, maybe. Oh, no. Oh, dear.
On both ends, a couple of very significant errors. At least it's technically one apiece in regards to those errors. It's evened out, as you can see, round for round, game for game.
Hold my beer real quick. I'll show you what a mistake looks like. Either way, final round here. Whoever goes 2-1 up is going to be massive for them mentally. Low forward.
Yeah. Just up the edge of that low medium.
There you go. Phenom's starting to introduce the dive kicks more because he knows NL, the strategy he's got, the grounded strategy he's got, is exhibiting it really well here. And these guys are going to start taking to the skies real soon.
To be fair, it hasn't really been challenged successfully in regards to like the overall stat usage. So I don't mind that era approach. It is getting a little bit more expensive now.
Yeah, he's realized, he's got to switch it up. He's got to force something to happen here, Phenom, and he's starting to realize it. NL, being patient, Not going to focus on the anti-air because he's too busy trying to look at what Phenom's going to do on the ground.
And he came in from a light, too. Being able to perfect parry, that is very, very difficult, in my opinion. And that's going to be easy peasy. NL with the level 3. Take a sip. Bam. Sit him down. 2 games to 1.
And a perfect KO to boot here as well for Falcon's own NL. Now, he's sticking to plan A. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we're starting to see the frustration pour out of Phenom in his gameplay here. So he's just going to go back to character select screen. He's not going to change characters, I believe, because he does play Ken. I mean, you know,
I was just about to ask for a sidebar. I was going to say, what are the chances, what are the odds of actually switching up to the Shoto? I wouldn't actually even think about trying to do that. I think his Cammy is more than effective to face off against any of the Shotos in comparison to switching off to the Ken.
For me, it's similar to like the sunk cost fallacy thing, right? He's put too much work and effort into practicing and prepping Cammy for the group stages, and he's emerged, right? He was talking to me before about he does regret not training the Bison up because he had an epiphany when he came here with the Reject guys to talk about, playing against the Asian region and their Bisons. Bison is still arguably a top 5. Some of them think he's the best in the game. And he does have a formidable Bison, but it just wasn't ready in time for the group stages. So he's going to stick with the tried and true Cammy here. And he's going to have to claw his way back because if he loses this game, he is out of the running.
If you had taken a note, though, as to how many jump-ins Phenom had successfully had against NL, and I don't mean like actually hitting NL, at least forcing NL to block, right? He didn't get anti-air outright. I don't mind the strategy of trying to continue onto the air approach, right? I mean, albeit it could be a little bit expensive, and as we can see, Phenom already spending 3 of those bars just to get that cancel to force NL to kind of flinch a little bit.
Because of the patience that NL's exuding, it's actually forcing Phenom to kind of play out of his comfort zone.
That was so sick!
Yo, NL's on smoke today. Good delay tech there, and he's trying to get the burn out.
Again, the slight hezzy with the walk-up as well. Not enough damage.
Uh-oh. Good awareness there with the throw tech from NL, and he's just going to have to do a jump back jab.
Beautiful. I love it when that kind of stuff happens, man. Catching the person on the way down with that light elbow. NL, look at that match point with 2 bars to his name as well.
Yeah, but it's just how solid he's been in the neutral and patience, and he's not being dissuaded by Phenom's aggression. Yes, he tried to do it. He tried to do it, and Phenom was ready and waiting, so it means he's going to allow a drive rush to come through next time.
Not too bad. A little bit of business of NL's own being able to throw out that OD uppercut. He's like, I see you, Phenom. You were ready for my adamant fist? Check out the other one from the ground. Fireballs to check him a little bit more.
Perfect parry once again. He's been having a high success rate with those perfect parries, but he needs to get more damage, more opportunities here. But NL is denying him on all fronts.
But at what cost? Oh, it caught the backdash. And in return, not quite burnout, but he will. Yes, I like that. Burnout on your own accord.
Why not? By his own volition, I want to take this win. I am hungry to proceed further in this bracket. One bind into that level 3 and he's done.
Could be via light kick, fist, who knows? Oh, that's so scary to throw out that crouching medium punch.
Still has an anti-ed. NL still has an anti-ed.
I don't think he'll have a chance for the rest of this round. That's for damn sure. NL with the reluctancy. It's exactly what we had prefaced it with, right?
Phenom's identified it, but I don't want him to visit that well too many times because that's going to change or redirect NL's focus, and he still can land an abundance of damage if he does get an air-to-air Akuma. I
say keep going for it. Take that water. Go back to the well, do it as many times as possible until NL has proven he's able to handle it, right?
Knowing Phenom as a player, he doesn't want to be as risky as that. Not unless the time warrants it, but he's going to take it to the corner again, and we've seen an abundance of wake-up options on defense right now, and he tried to do a dive kick. Didn't quite work out there, so lovely anti-air from Phenom, and he's trying to be as aggro as possible right now, Vicious.
He's going to have to pump the brakes while he's in the corner. He doesn't want to make any sort of mistakes that'll lead to maybe like a big uppercut into a level 3, etc. Especially with how little drive gauge he has left.
Just allowing Phenom to get out of there, replenish some drive gauge for the both of them before they commit to something massive. And he didn't get it. That's unfortunate there for NL.
I'm telling you, Jammers, just keep doing it, man.
Low forward or crouching medium kick, and it will close it out for Phenom, and I think he's looking for it as well. Takes a grab, that's completely fine.
Despite the life deficit and 38 seconds left on the clock, NL's not even going to try to inch forward as much. He's going to try that air approach. He already did it with the Demon Raid. Okay! Very, very courageous, too. You talked about that single hit that could get him into that L.
He can't get hit now. He cannot get hit now, Phenom. It cannot be by a heavy.
Ooh.
It cannot be by a heavy. He's going to cash out. He's going to cash out. We're going to find out what's going to happen. He is going to go into the Delta Red Assault here.
I don't know about this one, Jammers.
It's a 10% that last hit, so it should take him out.
Okay, okay. Good call. Good call. You pulled up the calculator for that one. I saw you. Excellent work. I was a little bit concerned just because of the lights. The amount of lights and cancels into it.
Well, since there's a lot of heavy scaling on the light conversion, remember, as soon as you're in the yellow, you're good, but it is Akuma, so there's another caveat there as well that will help out. But I think even Phenom's heart stopped beating just for a second there, just in case, because dropping all your life savings on that and not getting what you want.
Oh. Plus, you're in burnout with 0 bars. I know as soon as he gets a string, yeah, no doubt, he would have lost that. But
repay me in interest, boy.
Yeah.
Dive kick.
Now you got me thinking about my student loans, brother. You got the aggression coming in now. Again, that dive kick has been paying off dividends. Thus far, any air approach from Phenom has not been challenged. Majority of them, I should say.
I like that back heavy kick after the stand medium punch, just in case Phenom tried to backdash to avoid a throw, because there was significant frame advantage there. But Phenom, being resilient, low on drive gauge, but let's see if his drive gauge will become inactive. Oh. No cross cut.
Hounding him down, forces the burnout. Phenom tried to bank it on a perfect parry. This is kind of tough too. NL trying to chuck some of the fireballs, just about dead even in life. Almost a fully healthy, greened up NL. Important, very delayed tech. Here's the punish counter.
Here it comes. Big damage coming through here for NL, and the gauge is not going to come back in time, so he's just going to block it out. There it is. Dive kick. Oy. Well played there from Phenom with that defensive choice, but NL not being deterred. Needs one sort of conversion. Anything small. EX5 will still an option if he needs it.
Yes, sir! The one that counts! The one that absolutely counts! He was banking on Phenom to take to the skies. The one dive kick that gets disrupted and shattered.
Well, it feels like he's been giving him that false intelligence. I've been allowing you to dive kick. I haven't really been laser focused on your aerial approach. So, okay, like he said, let's make it count when it needs to happen. Potential match point here for NL. Takes a grab.
It was actually rather fortunate that Phenom actually got the light kick to force the block on NL. Otherwise, he would have gotten that punish counter against him upon landing. But NL side switch on that throw, drive rush, important block on the overhead, and a quick challenge from Phenom. Get off of me.
There we go. He has to pile on the pressure now, but Phenom has to be careful not to overexert himself or whiff a normal here, because he's in trouble if he gets hit.
Still dangerous territory on both ends, both locked in with a 3 in the super art department. NL needs a singular hit again.
I love this patience, I love this respect. There's the anti-air, and that's going to clip because that turns into a 2-frame SA3, and that is going to knock Phenom out of the tournament here. Falcons NL gets a fantastic conversion, and then he will progress deeper into the bracket and closer to the big prize money here at CAPCOM Cup 11.
He was a double agent. He was given false information for his own government. That was actually kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, if you really kind of just like grasp the idea of like the ground game and seeing Cammy and Akuma on the screen, you would think to yourself, you know, Akuma could definitely contest against this if they're not able to catch on to my fireballs, right? So you would automatically think, all right, well, Cammy has the superior, in my opinion, one of the more superior airborne approaches. But NL, again, not having any sort of answers until the very end was just mad impressive.
100%.
It's one, having the discipline for it, and also to have the execution.
But then let's look at the strategy, right? It started out with just safe pokes, regular fireballs. We saw Phenom reciprocating in a safe manner as well. And then Phenom went, hang on a minute. You haven't anti-aired yet. You're too busy focused on the ground. You're too busy being cognizant of the ground. Let me try and exploit a weakness. He did go to the aerial approach, and he did get away with a couple of dive kicks, but for the most part, they were blocked. Regular jump hits, they were pretty much blocked. But then NL goes, I'm going to keep letting you do that, and I'm going to note that for later in the set for when it actually matters. And like you said, we started to see EXDPs come out. We started to see a regular reverse come out. And then just to close it out, the cherry on top of the cake, we did see that DP into level 3 there. So honestly, this was a fantastic set to kick things off in this top 16 losers side.
Beautifully well played from NL, surviving another round of the onslaught here that is CAPCOM Cup. These guys, again, so bloodthirsty. But Phenom had some really brilliant choices as well, knowing when NL would try to advance forward and try to get those sneaky frame traps by those little micro steps. And it happens a lot, right? You see the character kind of move forward, you're so tempted to press a button. I think Phenom in general had a pretty decent time trying to stop NL, but to the point where you get locked down for so long, it's like, all right, I have to try to take to the skies yet again. But NL having the proper answer for him, and he was just as deadly. You see that level 3 locked in, it's like, man, should I even try to jump here? Either way, who could really tell?
NL will progress into the losers side, round 2, the top 16, where he'll go up against Angry Bird. But now we got dropped down into another match of the round 1 losers side, where it's going to be hometown hero, role model, in Japan, internationally, the murder face, He is going to be going up against the remaining UK representative here. Heck, the only UK representative, if you want to exclude Lex from this equation just for a minute. It will be Borowski, the great capybara. He's had a fantastic time. A little bit of fluctuating results during the group stages, but listen, he's calmed down. I've had a chat with him. He's enjoying his time out here as well, and he's ready for this, man. He's ready.
Just to kind of like harp in on the amount of Kens he has to play over in the UK or just the scene in general, can you give us a little bit of a breakdown of who you think he's been practicing against to get himself prepared for the club?
I think he just you see most of the practice happening on his stream. There's a lot of image training, there's a lot of theory crafting. I know when he is on stream at home, he will face guys like Masalu. Shouts to Masalu back at home.
Great.
Shoryu Sengan,
Especially
Takamura.
Shoryu Sengan.
You know, Phenom when he picks up the Ken before he starts downplaying him, but it's all there, right? These two players are fan favorites in their own right, and I'm pretty sure they're going to garner even more fans by the end of this set here.
Now, one of the conversations we had backstage, obviously highlighting this particular matchup, Torpedo facing off against an Aki, a character specialist, Broski with Aki, I should say. He's had this type of experience with Hikaru, right? I don't know how often they got to play outside of Street Fighter League because they didn't get to intertwine in their paths, but I imagine they had that one-on-one, they've had that time to theory craft as well. But in your opinion, how do you feel